Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you guys our money moves and our money mishaps for the month of June. I've been doing these types of videos for the last several months and I feel like they make the most sense because I just feel like I'm able to share the information in a better, more effective way. Way back when, I would kind of just walk through where we overspent or where we underspent and, just walk through those different budget categories. But in the grand scheme of things for us, especially, it doesn't really matter a whole lot if we overspend on this line item or are under budget with this line item. All that really matters is that we actually stick to the budget and spend only the money that we have and are able to maintain and manage our money in that way. So if our monthly income is $5,000, then it's our duty to make sure that we don't spend over that $500. It's best, of course, to give every job an assignment and to allocate and have those line items so that you can really see where the money is going to be going and you can kind of adjust if you need to. But in the grand scheme of things, like I said, what really matters most is that we're not overspending. So in today's video, we're going to be talking about all of that using our real numbers. If you're interested in learning about that or hearing about that, then please keep watching. Okay, so starting out for income, we budgeted that we were going to bring in $8,650. We actually brought in a little more and we brought in $9,032. That was pretty much just due to various things. As we all know, we have three main sources of income: my full-time job, my husband's full-time job, our side hustles or business, and those are our three main sources of income. And so each month, typically we do earn a little more in, maybe this area, or maybe we get a little less in this area, but for the most part, it always shakes out to us earning a little bit more than what we anticipated, and that is purposeful. We try to budget for the bare minimum amount that we know we will bring in each and every month. Okay, so let's go ahead and talk about these moves. First up, we got a tax refund of $1,380. We got some correspondence in the mail from the IRS before we actually even paid our tax bill for 2020, and they were telling us that they had, I guess, miscalculated something and we were going to be due a refund. So they sent us a letter in the mail, and then soon after we paid our tax bill, which would have been I think we paid it by the deadline, I guess, which I think was May 17th. They then went ahead and sent out a check, and basically we got that at like the very beginning of June and we cashed it in June. So technically the money was rightfully due to us, I guess, but kind of it was like, extra money or free money, if you will, because we definitely didn't anticipate it. Next up, we invested $2,000 like we try to do each and every month, and this is additional investing because we are trying to get on that road to FIRE. And so we did $1,000 towards our joint brokerage account, $500 towards my Roth IRA, $500 towards my husband's Roth IRA. The goal is to put as much money as we can each year into the joint brokerage, or each month into the joint brokerage account, so that we can later use that money in life when we want to start pulling from that money for our early retirement. And the goal is to max out our Roth IRAs every year. And to do that, we need to invest $500 per month for both of us. Next up, we receive $50 in work perks, is what I like to call it. Basically, sometimes we can get like random gift cards, and sometimes if we refer people to certain programs and things like that. So first of all, you have to refer, and then they also have to kind of complete the program. There are some stipulations. You can't just refer. So it was kind of unexpected because I don't really keep up with it once I refer, but I got two $25 Visa gift cards, which is the equivalent of $50. I think we may spend it today. We're kind of saving it for a date night. But also I'm kind of feeling like we might go on a date night today or something. I don't know, but that was fun. $50 of free money. Next up, we were able to pay our car insurance in full. Like I mentioned in my July budget video, which I will put here, we are no longer going to be, we didn't have to pay my husband's medical bill in June. It is actually due in July. So for which case we just flopped the two and we paid our car insurance premium in June, and we'll pay the medical bill in July. Because of how we pay our bills, because we put those large bills on credit cards for cashback purposes, because how all of that falls, sometimes it doesn't really matter when bills are paid, if they're due within like a month of our credit card being due. I know that probably sounds confusing, but anyway, long story short, we paid our car insurance premium in full in the month of June, which is exciting because now we don't have to pay car insurance again until December. Next up, we got a new job offer. I say we, like I was offered a job, but really my husband was offered a new job, and as of now, it's looking like he's going to take it. he was in a position to kind of like weigh his options, I guess. I mean, the reason why I say that is because the job actually doesn't start until like by the time that he was hired or given the job offer. He didn't really have to make a decision ASAP because the job wasn't starting for a couple of months, if that makes sense. So for which case, it's looking like he is moving towards accepting the job offer and all of that. So that's really exciting. Happy for him. And I don't really know, we don't really know how exactly that will affect everything. And we've been thinking about it, but we still aren't exactly too sure until he actually gets a paycheck and all of that. But anyway, I'll keep you guys updated or posted if anything major happens or changes, of course. And then next up, we were on budget for the first time with our puppy girl. So my husband brought home a rescue back in February, and since then we have been purchasing everything that we needed for her. And I'm talking like we had no animal or puppy supplies because we did not have an animal prior to her getting here. So we've been spending lots of money on beds and this and that and the third. And June was the first month that we were remotely on budget. We budgeted $150 for her. We actually spent $154.51. And we spent $84.93 on her wellness plan through PetSmart. So after her spaying falls off, because they just kind of tacked on the price of the spaying to the wellness plan. So after that falls off in a couple of months, it'll go down to like $50 something a month. But anyway, as for June, it was $84.93. We spent $20 on new food at Target. We decided per her trainer that we would maybe switch her from the chicken flavored types of food because we weren't really too, she seemed to be a little more itchy during that time. So we just talked about maybe making the switch, and for sure it seems to have made a huge impact. So I think she's doing beef or something now, but we switched her food. That was $20 at Target. And then we also spent at the very beginning of the month $49.58 on her treats and her toys. Honestly, that one was the most exciting money move that we made in the month of June because I was just like, I don't know, like if we'll ever get on budget with this girl, and I really would like to do that. So I'm super excited that we were pretty much on budget with her for the month of June. So now that we talked about some of the money moves, let's go ahead and talk about some of the money mishaps. I don't want to call them, I don't want it to be like a wins and losses type of thing, or, you know, I don't want that type of energy or that type of vibe. So I just call them mishaps because that's pretty much what they are. So one of the mishaps kinda was that we only received one tax refund. We weren't actually super sure we were gonna get two. The only thing that even made us think that we may be getting two is because the IRS sent a letter about the refund addressed to me, and then they sent another one addressed to my husband, even though we file our taxes jointly. So we were kind of thinking like it's probably gonna be one, but then we were like, well, we really don't really know. Let's just wait and see. And so we did have a plan for that money had it come in, because that's what I always recommend. If you know some money is going to come in, no matter if it's an additional $100 or an additional $10,000, you definitely want to go ahead and start making a plan for that money as opposed to waiting for the money to get here. I feel like that's when a lot of impulse purchases and things like that can take place. So we definitely had a plan if we were going to bring in that additional money, and that plan would have been to either get our car repaired or to pay for my husband's medical bill and just kind of get that ball rolling a little faster. But either way, we did only receive one, which was kind of a mishap because, again, had we received two, we definitely would have been able to really advance our finances, you know, in the month of June. Another mishap is that I did not add to the LV bag fund. I'm hoping I can get back to doing that within the next month or so, but it's really not a priority right now. If you saw this video, then you know that we have a lot of financial stuff that we have to kind of work through in this first half of the year, and all of them are far more important than this LV bag fund. And if you don't know about the LV bag, I am saving up money to potentially purchase an LV bag as a gift to myself for hitting my weight loss goal. And I honestly do want to be able to reward myself with something that I may potentially want in the future. It doesn't have to be something that I purchase like the day that I hit my weight loss goal, but just having that money stashed away. But I just feel like other things keep popping up, like our expensive car repair and my husband's medical bill that was way more expensive than we thought, or that random medical bill that I just got from a visit that I went to in December of 2020, or our puppy girl is now here and living with us. So really a fence would probably do her some good. So I just kind of feel like that's the way of the world, and that's just how life goes, and sometimes we have these elaborate plans and things like that and they don't really quite work out and we have to pivot and adjust. So I do plan to keep funding that and putting money in there, and I could easily do that by just sending my allowance there, but I just enjoy spending my $150 allowance, spending money that I get each month on things like nails and eyebrows and my feet that you can't see, but they're really cute too. They match my nails. So that's just kind of how I like to spend my money, because that is what fills my bucket and feels good for me. So anyway, hopefully one day we'll get back to it, but not as of right now. The next mishap, again, I don't want to call it a loss, especially with this one, is that my niece arrived and we had costs associated with that. I knew she wanted to come for the summer, but there's a lot of stuff about like she and her sister spend all of their days together and they want breaks from one another. I think they might be like kind of over their break now. So I didn't know if my other niece was coming or if she was coming. I didn't know when this was taking place because I would have to take off and like really plan for this trip, because I have to drive 7 hours. I can't drive back 7 hours. I mean, I could, I'd be super annoyed. So I'd have to stay over, and then if I'm going home, I feel like I might as well make like an actual trip out of it. So I was trying to orchestrate this, but lo and behold, my friend was coming back here to Georgia, and so she brought my niece with her and we whipped that together, and my sister was able to meet my friend and all of that good stuff. So she kind of came unexpectedly, if you will, not in enough time for me to really plan for it. And then I put her in a camp, and then we've been having all kinds of super fun date nights, and they've been like cheap. Like we'll all go do something, you know, a drive-in movie, and it'll be like $10, or you know, like cheaper things like that. But also, of course, buying her some of the drinks and foods and stuff that she likes. It's been a great time, but it definitely was something that caught us off guard. Next up, we spent $250 on gas. I will have to say that my niece is here. My best friend just moved here, literally up the street. It's a straight stretch. And her children just finished school, so they kind of like finished the school with their grandma and then finally have joined her down here. So we've been doing like shenanigans, pool and this and that and the third, all types of different things, and I'm driving more. And then on the days that I normally wouldn't drive, some of the days I do drive because I'm taking my niece to camp, or I was taking my niece to camp in June. So we did way more in gas than I ever thought was possible. So that definitely was a shocker to me at the end of June. Similarly, we spent $1,200 on food/dates. Now I will say this covers groceries, eating out. This covers any type of date night shenanigan. Like I said, it could be a drive-in movie. I'll put that in this particular category. I just don't know. I just feel like they just go together. Or if we stop at Dollar Tree and get snacks for the movie, you know, outdoor movie or whatever, I'll just throw that in here. So anything food or fun related, that's what it really should be called, I do put in this category. And so because of all of the shenanigans and my niece being here, my friend and all of that, we spent a pretty penny. I don't know. My husband and I maybe did one date night in June together, and for sure, all of us together, we probably ate out maybe like 2-3 times maximum. Like 3 times would be maximum. We actually ate out less in June than we have all year, and maybe ever in our entire togetherness. Like that's how much we did not eat out in June. But yeah, we did spend a lot of money. And then lastly, we did stop our additional investing in June for July. So in June, we told them to stop it for July because we needed to take a break to create a buffer. So watch this video if you haven't already, and we will resume it in August. So that's already set up and ready to go, the automatic payment. So those are all of our money moves and money mishaps for the month of June. Those are all of the ones that were, you know, most prominent. That's kind of what I like to do. I don't know, I feel like I could be talking all day if I talked about every remotely good thing that took place in the month, or any, you know, remotely bad thing that took place in the month. So I just kind of like to do the ones that spoke the loudest. So that is it for this video. Those are all of our money moves and our money mishaps for the month of June. As always, feel free to share down in the comments if you have anything that you would like to share. If you like this type of content, consider subscribing, because I realized that I actually always pretty much know my videos that are coming later, and some of the next finance related videos that you can expect include videos on how to save money, everyday tips and hacks on saving money, ways to get started with investing on a low to moderate income. I'm also going to be sharing my updated income sources and just ways to make money in this space and online, or even from the comfort of your home. So if any of that interests you, again, like I said, consider subscribing. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you in my next one. Bye guys.